राम गए रावण गए जौ को बहु परिवार कहे नानक थिर कुछ नहीं सपनों जो संसार. Guru Nanak Dev says that look at the greatest who came on this planet. They all went. They all are gone. So nothing is here to stay forever. So his question is that he's going through a phase in his life where every or any decision he takes turns out to be 10 times better than expected or envisaged. Any stock recommendations? Would love some 10x. But the downside of that is he feels this is turning this thing he's going through where it's happening, rather than making him more confident, which he is anyway, it's turning more into perhaps a sense of ego. Look, I've got it all covered and things. And of course, because now there is the ego raising its hood, as a result, he also finds it somewhat difficult to surrender. So where does that leave us? I think it was Mike Tyson who said, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. So everybody's confident when things are going well. And there is nothing wrong with that. I would rather you be confident than be full of self-doubt and say, is it really happening? Why is it happening to me? Do I deserve all these good things that are happening to me? Somewhere you may have worked hard towards it, or it could be a combination of grace and your talent, aptitude, skill, potential, hard work, all of these factors. But I think if you really feel that it's becoming a hindrance in your personal growth emotionally and spiritually, then it helps to remind yourself that it's transient, it's temporary. It may not stay like this. It will change, it will transform. Ram gaye, Ravan gaye, jau ko bahu parivar. Kahe nanak thir kuch nahi sapnyon jo sansar. Guru Nanak Dev says that, look at the greatest who came on this planet. They all went. They all are gone. So nothing is here to stay forever. So as long as we remember that, then that will turn you into a jigyasu. That will turn you into a discoverer of truth. Because usually when people are hit with a brick by life, that's when they go around wondering, why me? Why are we going through this grief? What can I do? Who can give me an answer? And that's on a bit off track, but that's why, in the ashram, I always encourage everybody who represents me in any way that please be very genuine and sincere in everything you say or do, because a lot of vulnerable people come to a place like this. And there is no weakness greater than a vulnerability in that moment. So if you are feeling very confident, good, as long as you realize that in this making, there are a lot of factors that are helping you. That's okay. And if you're feeling you're supremely confident, that's also okay. If you think now somehow everybody is a lesser human being, that is also okay. Just joking. So that's when we know the sprouting of ego has started. If it's not checked, it'll grow like weed and it'll take over the beautiful garden. and will eat all good things that you were expecting. You're full of allergens then. So some of that, as I say, a lot of great things in life depends on making, so this, right. So they say good decision making comes from good experience. And a lot of that comes from bad decision making. So we all make decisions. Some of those will see us through. Some of those will just go belly up, and we don't know what to do with them. And that's part and parcel of life. It's impossible that one person's all decisions will go right. It's impossible that one person's all decisions will go wrong. Impossible. At least it's improbable. The probability is just too low. And with that in mind, just live through. And as far as surrender is concerned, you'll be amazed when you are ready for it, how swiftly it will happen. Ramdas, Richard Alper, he was standing with his hands in his pocket before Neem Karoli Baba. And he was a Harvard professor. Due to his controversial research in psychedelic drugs, I think he had been sacked from the university at that time. So he came to India with his friend Bhagwan Das, Krishna Das, and he saw people were offering their respects to Neem Karoli Baba. And in his own words, he said, I think he said this in a documentary called Fierce Grace, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong. So he stood with his hands in his pockets and he said, there is no way, in his mind he's saying, there is no way I'm going to bow down before anybody. And then Neem Karoli Baba said to him, last night you were sitting under the stars thinking of your mother. She died of spleen, some disease in her spleen. That's all it took. Just 2 sentences. And not only he offered a full-length prostration, he became his lifelong devotee. He became his lifelong follower. So his friends and family thought, what's happened to this guy? He went Balachanga to India. And now on his way back, when he went to the US, he was in robes. And that was also the time when the hippie culture was really at its peak and a lot of people were experimenting with many things. That was a time when ISKCON really grew the way it grew, as well as transcendental meditation. And similar, just in that era was also the Kriya Yoga, self-realization fellowship, and so on. So people were looking for answers, almost like an identity crisis. Similarly, the youth of India today is looking for those answers. They're going through their own challenges. Now there is wealth, there is money, there is prosperity, there is potential. They're saying, but all that is good. What is the purpose of my life though? So when you are going through that phase, it'll only take a moment to surrender if it comes to that. Also, please bear in mind, it's perfectly okay to not surrender. It's perfectly okay. This world is full of many, many, many amazing people who don't have a guru, who don't get into this meditation and all those things, who are not in search of any God, who have a very strong inner voice which tells them, let's get drunk. And that's all it says every evening. And they are big on philanthropy. They are big on charity. They are doing amazing things for the world and for themselves. And they have not surrendered to any guru or anybody even remotely close to that. So everybody has a different temperament. And the last thing we want to do is say, oh, if you don't surrender, somehow you have ego. Maybe you know what you're doing. And as long as that's the case, as long as you are making this world a better place, I think that's all that matters.